Hey everybody, what's going on? We are here with a timeless reading. So excited to be here with you guys. Okay, first cards that we have out, Temperance and Page of Swords. It looks to me like there's something that you're learning about, there's something that you're discovering, but I'm getting that it's not going to be just like a big dump all at once. This is something that's probably going to take time. So if you're researching something, if you're learning a new skill, if you're gathering information, if there's something that you're trying to understand, this is about not rushing the process, because there can be a part of you that, like when the Page of Swords is activated, it's that part of us that's connected with the air energy, and air energy wants to move very, very quickly. Like, I want to know what's happening. I want to get the information. Like, I want this to sink in. I want to be able to work with it, and it can be very excitable because we want to be stimulated mentally. But having us start off with Temperance here, this is about learning how to sort of slow things down, not at an unreasonable pace, but it's about taking your time and knowing that you don't need to do everything all at once. Like, it's about, Temperance is not about slowing things down arbitrarily. Temperance is about moving in rhythm with the natural tempo, of things. And so that's what it's about. So yeah. This can also be, some of you, there are some things that are connected with this. I'm getting a couple different energies. Some of you guys may be learning like a new skill or a new trade, something that you're learning, something like that. But others of you, I'm seeing what this is that you're going through. There's stuff that you're processing and some of it's heavy. So this can be some stuff that you're learning how to work through right now. Because I'm seeing some sadness for sure here. For some of you, I'm not saying that be the case for everybody, but it's definitely present here energetically. And some of you too, I get that you do like have a tendency to like to do things in a quick way. Like, I want to understand it now. I want to talk about this now. I want to like all of that stuff, all related with the air energy. I want to communicate. I want to know that. Like, tell me what's going on. Like, why can't I find this article? It's like that sort of thing. So right now is really about learning how to move with the rhythm of things. So you're learning how to be patient, essentially, within this area of your life. Some of you want to speed it up and figure it out because there's something like unknown that you're still sorting through. It's like, I want to talk about that. Yeah, this may feel annoying to you right now. Like, I want this to be clear. I want this to be clarified. I want to know what this is. I'm seeing like a bit of a question mark that you're looking here, and some of you in multiple areas that you're trying to figure out. So that's why, okay. If something is not clarified for you, this is what I'm seeing here. Something's not clarified. I'm seeing you be on a mission to find this out. So you're going to get this information, but your guides are telling you that you need to be patient. Like, it's going to come, but it's not going to come all at once, and it's not all right now, and it's not ready yet either. So just keep that in mind as you move through this. And that doesn't mean you're not looking hard enough or something like that. Like, some of you could be like, why doesn't this make sense right now? Or why don't I know this already? Or like, where is the information? Can I find it if I look harder? No. So I feel like this is your guides being like, relax. When you're supposed to know things, you're going to know things. It's just not time yet. But you could have thought that it was something on your end. Like, should I be trying harder? Or should I be asking more questions or whatever? No, it's just not time. Some of you, I'm seeing there be like a series of conversations that are involved in this. I think you're also trying to like understand your role as well. Maybe even multiple roles too. This looks like something that's not so cut and dry. Some of you also, there's another person's feelings that are involved in this as well, and that's something that you're trying to understand too. Also, so many things that are popping up. Some of you are spending time trying to figure out like what roles that you do want to be playing and what you want to be doing. Like this can be roles within your personal life, it can be roles that people are playing within your life, it can be a schooling thing, it can be a career thing, lots of different stuff. But I'm seeing you're trying to figure it out, but you don't know. You know what this is reminding me of? It's like having to pick a major in college, where it's like you want to know already, and it's going to take time because you have to like look through the whole catalog and figure it out, and then be like, once that makes sense, you're going to be like, okay, this is who I want to be, like that's what I want to do, that's the role that I want to play. So it feels like something where you have a selection of like lots of different options of how you can be showing up, and you're trying to find the one that like actually genuinely is going to fit. But I'm seeing it's just taking some time for you to, yeah, I'm seeing these energies be attached to one another. It's like confusion. I don't want to say confusion. It's just you have maybe lots of different options, and so at this point you're trying to cut them down to get more specific and more focused. That's what I'm seeing. Because I'm seeing you really investing in yourself here, and some of you are. It's like you're investing in your schooling, you're investing in your career, you're investing in ways that you make money, that sort of thing. And I am seeing as well, like, whatever may feel a little bit chaotic right now, it's not going to stay feeling like that. It just seems like now is a time where a lot sort of is happening. And you can feel too, like so many paths are in front of you, and you're like, well, where do I step now? And it can feel like that in every moment. Well, where do I step now? You take a step. Well, where do I step now? And then you take a step. That's sort of what this is feeling like. So there can be part of you that's like, oh, I miss when I'm on a road and I know we're going to be on here for a couple miles and I don't keep having to ask or like check in every minute, but I'm just getting you at a point where you're like constantly having to check in, which that's just where you are. But your guys are also reminding you, like, it's not going to stay like that. You're soon to be to a point where you're not going to have to be checking in as constantly. So just keep that in mind as you're moving through. It's not going to stay like this because it's feeling a little bit repetitive maybe at this point for you. You're definitely moving in the right direction. Your guys are saying just be patient as you move through this. Stuff is still being figured out and stuff is still being clarified and things are still taking shape, and that's in the midst of happening. You're still also like coming to know yourself and understand yourself. And I really do feel this vibe with the King of Pentacles of you like trying on these different outfits sort of and being like, okay, this one fits, or like this one's a little uncomfortable over here, and sort of like trying to, but it feels like in multiple ways. Like there can be multiple roles that you're playing where you're like, okay, sometimes I like wearing this outfit and sometimes I like wearing that outfit and I would really like to wear that one over there. You know, it's like this sort of thing that's being figured out. So I'm seeing you're like investing in yourself, figuring this out at this point. So it also makes sense too because we have Sagittarius here. Sagittarius is the only major arcana. I'm also seeing Gemini on the bottom of the deck, and with Sagittarius that can be about like expanding our knowledge, expanding the roles that we're playing. It can be about education, it can be about skills. Also Gemini too, same deal. So incorporating new things, but this feels like something serious that you're going to be doing. This isn't just like in my spare time this is what I do. This is something that looks like a big life thing or like a big life decision, something like that. Yeah. It's about figuring out what you want. That's why it's so important for you to wait, because you don't want to choose something before it's time, like before it reveals itself to you essentially. So yeah, you're just figuring out what you want, like truly and genuinely. But I'm seeing that is going to be clarified for you. So even though you can be in a space right now where you're like how am I ever going to figure this out? I'm seeing that it's going to be figured out. You just got to keep doing what you're doing and be patient. Because I'm seeing some of you definitely feel impatient sometimes with the pace of when you're getting clarifying information, or like when you're having these epiphanies, like that sort of stuff, when you're coming to certain realizations. So yeah, just try to ground as you move through. Yeah, you really are going in the right direction. I'm seeing you constantly making progress, constantly moving forward, like constantly going in the direction you're supposed to be going in. Very aligned here. It seems to like you're doing this intuitively as well, which seems to be working out for you. But also being aware. It's not just that you're floating without noticing. I'm seeing you really looking around at what's going on. So what I'm getting is that after this little spot here that feels a little bit exhausting emotionally, mentally, I'm seeing that there's something that you're connecting with. It's something that you want to be doing, something that you're interested in doing, something that you feel excited about, something that you feel happy about. You can know that, and you can still be struggling a little bit. It's like there are some things where you're like, okay, I know this, and this does make sense, and I do understand this. And then there can be other things where, like, maybe you're really fretting over those things that aren't so clear. But I definitely, like, your guides, hold on. Your guides are highlighting something very clear here. So this is like you have something that you want, okay? Something that you want for real. This isn't just, it crossed my mind today and I think that I want that now. This is like a deep, deep desire. This is you actually doing that thing that is the deep desire. So this is you on track. It's like you're on that road, you're doing that thing. So you have this, so you'd think that it would be like Six of Wands, like, yes, success, I'm on the right path, I'm doing what I want to be doing, I'm connected, right? You would think that this would be a very happy energy. Normally that's what you would see, but you're over here like this. Why? Look at, you have all this stuff going on. It's like the sun could not be shining harder on you right now, and you're very worried about something that's just not time to be figured out yet. And maybe you think that something's wrong because of that, but really nothing's wrong. So your guides are just reassuring you that everything's fine. Like, you're really on the right path here. You don't need to be worried about it. There's really nothing to question at all. Things are good. Things are really good. Maybe some of you too struggle with anxiety, because this feels a little bit much for this situation. Like a little, seems like a big emotional response for what's going on. So maybe you just feel very, very stressed out when you don't know things. Maybe some little control issues that are coming up for you are being highlighted by this. What that means is that you need to find things that you can do, like with yourself, like affirmations or something, and practice words like I'm safe, like that sort of thing. Because you just being in an unknown situation, you get to really choose how you feel about this. And some of you get thrown into something unknown, and your first response is to be like all beside yourself, maybe even thinking that something's wrong, but really this is just the way of things. Things aren't meant to be clear all the time. It would be, imagine just if you came into this lifetime and everything was like this manual. You're going to do this, and then you're going to do this, and then you're going to do that. You know, it would be so boring. There's nothing that you need to figure out. This is just what's going to happen. But you're at a point right now where it's like you can look at this and be like, okay, I have an adventure. This is like a puzzle in front of me that I'm sort of getting to look through. And your guides are telling you that you're going to figure it out exactly when you need to. This isn't something where you're like, am I ever going to have the answer? Like, what if something passes me by? What if it's too late? What if I realize too late? That's not going to happen. Impossible, okay? You don't need to be stressing out about this. But also, you can if you want to. What's being shown is that you get to choose sort of how you're like orienting yourself within this situation and how you're framing it. And if you want to look at a situation that's not making sense yet and be miserable about it or be freaked out about it and feel ungrounded and just like go off into space with it, then that's what you want to do. But you can also reframe it if you want to. And so that is being highlighted here for you, that you really do get to choose sort of how you move through this. It's like, are you going to cry the whole roller coaster ride? Are you going to scream? Are you going to laugh? What are you going to do? Right now you're crying. It doesn't mean you're going to stay crying about it. You know, sort of like metaphorically speaking. It's just like not a good feeling. Like things feel very heavy, and maybe you're also like taking this a little bit too, I don't want to say taking it too seriously, but it's like, you know when you get really locked in, but in a way that doesn't feel good because you feel stiff? It's like that sort of feeling that I'm getting from this. Like you need more flowiness. You need to move the energy around because it's feeling like it's getting stuck here. But I do get as well that a lot of this is about you wanting to show up in a way that feels aligned for you. And you may have something going on that it can feel like it's conflicting with that a little bit. Like some of you, there's something that you have going on where you're like, yes, I'm playing this role. Yes, I'm doing this thing. But there's something happening. Let's see what this is. I want to know specifically. We're going to clarify. You could also be fighting your feelings on something too. I will say this, you could be doing something that you want to be doing here and like happy that you're doing it. But then because like one little thing isn't exactly where you want it to be, like feeling like it's a really big deal and then it creating conflict when you're actually in the right spot. You know what I'm saying? It's like you have this situation and everything is perfect except like one chair isn't pushed in the way that you want it to be, and it's like you can focus on that and make a huge deal out of it and be like the whole scene is ruined because of this, or you can just look at it and be like not how I wanted, or not how I expected. Like maybe it'll get pushed in, maybe it won't, you know, and sort of look at it like that and like look around at everything else and be like, wow, well, everything else is exactly how I wanted it. And I think that it's about coming down to maybe assessing even how trivial something is that you're tripping over right now. The thing too is that it's not like something's wrong and you just have to deal with it now. It's that something is like incomplete or it's just not clarified yet. So you don't even know what this is. You don't know if it's a bad thing or a good thing or like what's underneath there. And you're like worrying about it before you even know, which is also something too that's coming up as well. And not that I'm saying anything is even gonna like be like that, right? That's a subjective like value that we're placing on things. What I'm saying is that it's like you're interpreting something that it's like you're trying to make a judgment call of something that you can't even see at this point. So you're just leaning in this direction of being like this. What's valuable about this though is that it's kind of like a mirror for you, because nothing is being shown to you yet. You're really just like reacting to yourself, and so this is revealing to you just where you are with some things. All right, we're gonna clarify. Just move forward with what you want. That's why you're feeling tension, because you're like stopping yourself from moving forward the way that you want to. You don't need to. You could just move through. I'm seeing the advice be just like run with it. This is not, for this part right here of you have something that you want, you're doing the thing that you want. something, whatever this thing is that's not clarified yet, it's going to be clarified. You're still meant to be pushing through. Don't stop here. Keep going. What this reminds me of as well is that you really get to choose what's motivating you here, and for some of you, your anxiety is motivating you a bit, and if you can sort of like switch into an energy where you feel more motivated by like what's feeling exciting or what you feel enthusiastic about or what you want to be doing, you can like click over a couple clicks like over into that space vibrationally for yourself. Like that's what your guides are saying, sort of try to bump yourself over there. It's like changing the station, because right now you're in one where it just feels like things are very, very frazzled over this little thing that doesn't need to be worried about. So it doesn't need to be worried about because it's going to work itself out. That's the thing. So you sitting here and doing this whole thing, it's not going to make it clarify itself to you. You're just like creating more frustration, and it's making you less receptive to what's happening. So you're actually slowing down the process by stopping here. Wherever you're feeling this tension, it's not going to stay, okay? The chaos is not going to stay. You're definitely moving on, like things are going to feel alleviated for you. I'm just seeing you be locked into something for a certain time frame, and then you like the door gets unlocked. It's like you're in some sort of cage. You have to do something here, or you're in a room. I feel like cage is a bit extreme. You're in a room here and your guides are like, okay, you be working on this now, and when your time's up, like we'll unlock the door and open it for you, and then you go to the next space. So I'm seeing you be in a room right now and you're doing this stuff, and then I'm seeing it's just to like work this out. Some of you too, you're like fighting with the timing of things. Like, you know, if you leave what it is that you're doing and you go stand by the door and wait for it to be unlocked, it's not going to make it unlock any faster. It's going to unlock when it's time to unlock. So that's also something to keep in mind too, because I'm seeing there's a very specific time frame that you're sort of locked in doing something, and then when I'm seeing there's going to be like an unlocking that happens and the door opens and you're going to be bumping over into the next room. So this is what I'm seeing is happening, but for a very specific span of time, I'm seeing you be in this like loop over here, this timeline over here, and then I'm seeing you're gonna get bumped into something else. But some stuff needs to be figured out first. That's also part of the reason why. I'm seeing these figures reading books here. Some of you, you're going to be unlocking a collaboration. Some of you, you're already involved in this. There could have been something that you felt like you were sort of doing on your own, but I'm seeing things are going to be going really well, and I'm seeing at least another person be involved in this, or other people be involved in this. So for those of you that you're currently like working with someone or sort of like collaborating with them, what I'm seeing is that things may not be super easy right now, and things may be slower than you want it to be, but I'm getting that it's just taking time to figure all of this stuff out. There's a lot going on. I do get this again, there's stuff that's happening that's helping you to even like understand yourself better as you move through this. I am seeing it seems like it's becoming more and more clarified for you what it is that you want and what it is that you want to do. But having not Six of Swords here, we do have Six of Swords, but Nine of Swords is the thing that's connected with this. It's so strange to see this, because what I'm getting is that Nine of Cups means that even if you don't know now, you're going to be knowing what you want. See, some of you guys you're in different places on the timeline, so let me just clarify. Some of you don't know what you want now, but you're gonna find out, and then you have the option in front of you, and your response is basically fighting that, because it may mean something that feels scary for you, okay? So it can be like, you realize what you really want is to like move to Africa, okay? Just saying, because we have the energy of Sag here. And that's really what you want. And then you have the option and you're like, I'm so inspired to do this. It's really what I want to do. But then you're like, but then I'm going to be leaving my family because I live in London. And it's going to be so far away from everybody. So I know what I want, but I also am feeling like a lot of fear about that. And because I'm motivated by anxiety and fear right now, because that's really what I'm tuning into, now I feel conflict. And the conflict is coming from fear. It's not because your soul is like, oh, maybe you shouldn't go then. It's your ego saying, I don't feel safe right now, and so don't do that, even though we know that that's what you want to do. And then the tension is happening there. So whatever this is for you, I am seeing that it's going to be clarified for you what you want, but it does take time to get there. But then I'm seeing it be more and more obvious for you sort of where you're leaning towards and what you want to be doing. But don't let the time where it's just taking some time to figure it out throw you off. Because the timing is so particular. Let's say it like this. Sometimes if you figure things out too quickly during a cycle, when you have this, because this is like a puzzle, it's something to be figured out. Sometimes when you figure something out too quickly within a cycle, then it's like you finish the puzzle, you're like standing at the door like this. Like, this is so boring, nothing's happening right now, and you're just waiting for them to unlock it because you already did what you needed to do. What I'm seeing is that by the time you figure this, like, the door is going to unlock at the same time. It's going to be very synchronistic. So this thing that you don't know yet, you don't need to know yet. It's not like you're like falling behind or anything like that. Because I really am seeing something stressing you out here because you just like don't know yet, but it's going to be clarified. So just keep that in mind. You're really on time with everything here. Like, you're not behind. So don't stress. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. Like, truly, truly in alignment. Just keep doing what you're doing and be patient. And when you feel sort of like an uprising of unpleasant things emotionally or mentally, figure out ways to channel the energy and to ground your energy and anchor yourself, okay? I'm just seeing Sag here. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I'm also seeing Jupiter here too, which is Sag's ruling planet. I'd like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I am sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.